Hi guys, so today I thought I'd talk about Makeup Revolution or slash Tan Beauty and Hi guys, so today I thought I'd talk about Makeup Revolution and I Heart Makeup and their dupes for higher end palettes. So today I'm going to be comparing the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette with the I Heart Makeup I Heart Chocolate palette and the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette and the Makeup Revolution Redemption Iconic Smoky palette. Now, first things first, these two are from the same company. Makeup Revolution, Freedom Makeup and I Heart Makeup are all a part of the same company called Tan Beauty. You can get all the products from all three of those companies from the Tan Beauty website. They don't have their own websites, which leads me to believe that they're all owned by the same people, and that makes a lot of sense because Makeup Revolution and I Heart Makeup do loads and loads of dupes for really high-end good products. Now, Makeup Revolution have duped all four. They've duped the Naked 1, 2, 3 and Smoky. They haven't done the Naked Heat just yet, but the Naked Heat has only just come out. And I'm surprised I haven't seen any dupes for that on the internet yet, so we shall see. But I thought I'd just talk about it because when I first got started in makeup, I loved that these palettes were so cheap and they were exact dupes for the other palettes. Because when you're starting out with makeup, you feel like so much pressure to get the really high-end, you know, the cool products. I can remember when I used to watch makeup tutorials and the person in the video would be using, I don't know, Naked 1. And I'd be like, oh, I don't have Naked 1, like, I can't do it, I can't make the set. Like, obviously that's ridiculous. Of course you can do whatever that person's doing on their makeup tutorial with another product that is completely different to Naked 1. You can use the same techniques, you can use the same colour patterns, you can do whatever you want. That's what makeup's about. But when I was first starting, all I wanted to do was do exactly the same thing as the girl in the video. And I couldn't have, like, this was in first year of university, I couldn't afford a naked palette. So when I found out that Makeup Revolution, which is available from Superdrug, did all these dupes for about 1/10 of the price, I was over the moon. I thought I'd cheated the whole system. I was like, well done me, I'm doing so well with this. And I never really felt the need to get any of those higher end products. So yeah, they do have their pros and they do have their cons though, however. So I thought I'd talk about that today. I think the first thing that I need to mention is Too Faced are owned by Estee Lauder and Urban Decay are owned by L'Oreal. Both companies are cruelty-free themselves, but they're owned by companies that aren't cruelty-free. So I'm not going to make any judgments here. I'm not going to have a go at anyone who uses makeup from cruelty-free, makeup from companies that are owned by companies that do test on animals. Did that make any sense? I'm not going to have a go at anyone for using makeup from companies which parent companies test on animals, because it's your own discretion. Like, I didn't buy either of these myself, my mum bought me both of these and I was very grateful for that because I couldn't afford either of these myself at all. But, you know, you do you. Tan Beauty and Makeup Revolution and I Heart Makeup are all of Tan Beauty and Makeup Revolution and this whole company are 100% cruelty free as far as I know. They're not owned by anyone. I think they're pretty independent companies and they're cruelty free. And they make good dupes. So yeah, first things first, I think I'll start with the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette because I got the dupe first before I got the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. It does smell like chocolate. It was like, I remember watching videos of this, like, does it really smell like chocolate? It does smell like chocolate. It smells really, really nice actually. And you know, you got a mirror in there, mine's really grubby. I never really use mirrors and palettes, but I couldn't understand why people would. And then when you compare it to the Makeup Revolution one, like even down to the packaging, it's really similar. And this one, if anything, it's got a nicer mirror. It's a bigger, nicer mirror. And it did come with a brush as well. The brush wasn't very good though. I tend to feel like the Makeup Revolution brushes aren't outstanding, but you know, they're good enough, you know. Sometimes they're the ones that are just the little palette ends, but in some of them you get like a flat-ended brush on one side and then a blender brush on the other, and you know, I'm not going to be a snob about it. I don't tend to use them, but they're not bad. And they're pretty, they are almost identical, as you can see, apart from they've swapped some of the shades around. Pretty much identical. I think I'm going to do a swatch test, because I've never done this before. I'm actually quite curious. I've been planning to do this video for a while, and I just never did it. So, what should we go first? I'm going to do Salted Caramel. It's this one here. It's a good transition shade. They're both quite buttery, actually. Too Faced one is definitely a bit more pigmented, and it's definitely a bit more matte, but that's not bad. I can remember people saying that Amaretto is probably one of the worst shades in the palette, so let's compare that one. And actually, yeah, they're not that similar side by side. I think they are quite similar, but the depth of pigment is more prominent in the Too Faced one, which makes it look a bit darker. Even then, the Too Faced, even then the Makeup Revolution one is really spot on. Let's do Gilded Ganache. That one feels definitely a lot less buttery with the Makeup Revolution one. You can see that the pigment definitely isn't as substantial, and actually it's a lot more powdery than all the other shades, but it is also in the Too Faced one. So you can see that they've, like, Makeup Revolution have definitely looked at the ingredients list of the Too Faced one, and they've been using similar concepts and similar formulas. They're so clever. Quite impressed with that, actually. I didn't expect the Makeup Revolution one to hold up that well, because I've been using this one so much since getting the Too Faced one, that I kind of forgot about how good this one is. They've definitely tried to make it smell a bit like chocolate as well, but it just smells a bit artificial. It definitely smells sweet, but it just smells artificial. Yeah, not half bad. I can't remember how much this was. I got this off the Tan Beauty website, I think, because I couldn't find it in store anywhere, because it is I Heart Makeup and not Makeup Revolution, even though I just kept calling it Makeup Revolution throughout this video. It is I Heart Makeup, and you don't always get them on the Makeup Revolution stand, so I'm going to just check how much that was. So this one is £8. This is £7.99 as opposed to £39. You can't really argue with that. Like, yeah, the packaging is definitely nicer on this one. It's like tin, it's metal, it's like a little paint palette, and this one's plastic, and mine has fallen apart a little bit, like it doesn't close anymore. But how much does that really matter to you? And when it comes to the eyeshadow shades, just whack a primer underneath it. That'll be fine. Wet your brush. You can probably get exactly the same results as you would with this. But yeah. See, I thought I would never need the chocolate bar palette until I actually got it, and then I was like, I can see where the hype is coming from. I can see why people love it so much, so that's something to keep in mind. Now for the Naked Smoky palettes. So this one was £6, whereas the other Naked dupes are all £4 with the less expensive packaging, and this one came with a proper brush, whereas the others come with the little makeup dabber thingies. It is a good palette. Like, it's not bad at all. And I wouldn't have thought I wanted the Naked palette, any of the Naked palettes, until my mum got me this for Christmas. And the packaging it just did something to me. I was just looking at it and I was like, just so nice. I know that's such a superficial thing to say, and it's such a superficial thing to do, like to spend more money on a palette just because the packaging is nice, but I feel like we're at this stage in makeup where you don't just buy a palette just because the shades are nice. You buy the palette because it's a piece of artwork. It's been so thought through, and not just like the shades in the palette, like the packaging and everything. And this one came with a brush as well. This one came with a really, really, really nice brush, which had a crease. It was like a tapered crease brush on one end and then a smudger brush on the other, because obviously that makes sense because it's a smoky eye palette. And yeah, let's do some palette shade testing thingy. Let's do some shade comparisons. Now I'm gonna compare Combust with the shade. These did come with both of these. Sorry, I forgot to mention, they both came with them stupid little sleevey things, which had all the shade names on them. Nobody got time for that. So annoying. They're falling out all over the place. They don't even stay with the friggin' palette. Ain't nobody got time for that. So anyway, I'm comparing Combust and the one that looks like Combust out of the Makeup Revolution palette. I feel like the Naked shadows I think they feel nicer. They feel less chalky. They feel less like they've got talcum powder in them. Let's go with Smolder. The Urban Decay shadows are definitely nicer. There's definitely, with the Too Faced one as well, the shadows are definitely, they feel better quality and they look better. But at the end of the day, like, if you put on a really good primer and you use some really good high quality brushes and you know what you use the right techniques, I don't really think that anyone is going to be able to tell the difference, really. Is it worth spending £40 on a palette that you might not even use that much? If I hadn't bought my Makeup Revolution Iconic one, I feel like I still would have bought into the hype of buying Naked one, and I don't think I would have got as much use out of it as I would have wanted for that much money. Whereas now that I've tried Iconic 3, I know for a fact that if I had the chance, I would probably buy Naked 3 because I love the palette that much. I get way more use out of it than I do Naked 1 or Naked 2. So let's go over the pros of the lower end dupes. They're cheaper, a lot cheaper. They're good for beginners because I feel like if the pigmentation isn't as great, they're going to be easy to blend out and you're not going to go in with loads of shadow and then struggle to blend it out. You're never going to get into a situation where you've applied too much, if you get what I mean. 3, like, I don't mind spending £4 on a palette that I may not use that much. I do have in mind spending £40 on a palette that I wouldn't use that much. So if you think you might want to buy a higher end palette, maybe getting a lower end dupe of it beforehand will give you an idea of whether you're going to use it that much, and then I feel like you're actually going to appreciate it more because you're going to appreciate the packaging more, because it's going to be so different from the plastic packaging that you had with the dupe. Cons. The packaging kind of falls apart a bit, like it's not as good, although the mirrors in these are way better than the mirrors in their counterpart palettes because they're so big. I feel like the packaging, yeah, obviously the packaging is never going to be as good. Like, that's where you're saving the money, that's where they're saving money. They've got cheap packaging, they can maintain a good level of quality with their eyeshadows because they're spending so little on their packaging. But that's really superficial. But at the same time, it's like, well, why do you think people buy anything? It's because the packaging looks nice. And I thought I would never buy into that until I actually got a high-end palette. And now I am like, well, if a palette looks really cool, then maybe I will fork out a bit of cash on it. I think another con is the quality just is never going to be as great. Although the ingredients lists are quite similar, they're never going to be exactly the same. They're never going to be on the same level, I don't think. But to some people, to a lot of people, to me in fact, that doesn't really matter. That doesn't really bother me at all. I hope I didn't ramble too much in this video. I feel like I've been talking for forever and I've had to take a breather. So yeah, it was probably going to take forever to edit this video as well because I'm just going to have to cut out bits where it's just like, well, you were just saying something ridiculous then. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this new setup of me talking to the camera. I've never done this before and it was actually a bit nerve-wracking, but I'm at home, I've got the house to myself, so thought I might as well talk face to face with you a little bit. So yeah, I hope you're all well. I really enjoy making videos for you guys and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye!